Evil Dead Burn, the newest installment in the Evil Dead franchise. One of my favorite franchises, right?
I
Is it
mean,
still?
I mean, it's one of my favorite franchises. You get Bruce Campbell, you get
yeah,
Sam
the
Raimi,
Bruce
Yeah,
Campbell
yeah.
ones.
I mean,
But
the original three are still my favorite. Evil Dead, Evil
First of-
Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. Those are still great.
Mhm.
I'll even
the
take
evil
Fetty.
trilogy.
I'll even take Fetty Alvarez's, even though it's very different to an Evil Dead movie. I was not a fan of Evil Dead Rise. Evil Dead Rise as much because it felt more like the Mila Jovovich Resident Evil movies. But Evil Dead Burn
Oh, it
wasn't.
feels bad. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Evil Dead Burn wasn't that bad of a movie. It just did things that I didn't agree with in the Evil Dead like
Lore.
and
You mean like
story.
exist?
Yeah. So in Evil Dead Burn, you have uh you have a main character who's dealing in an abusive relationship. That's the one thing that I noticed of about the new Resident Evil, the new Evil Dead movies, is that they have to have the main character has to be going through something, because if you notice that Fetty Alvarez Evil Dead, she's trying to get off drugs, right? It's drug rehab, it's an intervention. And Evil Dead Rise, the main character's dealing
She's trying to be
with
a DJ.
yeah, but also she's pregnant, right?
Oh yeah, that's just pregnant.
It's about like moms and stuff like that, like that. And then this one, it's about trying to get out of an abusive relationship, or getting out of an abusive relationship, and the ramifications and what happens to the person that's receiving the abuse in that relationship. You have Alice. At the beginning of the movie, you get introduced to Alice and Will and the small group of friends, and Will, the husband, dies in a car accident. Alice has to join the family at the funeral. It's a family that does not like Alice, and she has to join them in the funeral. And then one by one, each one gets taken by the Deadites. Each one gets possessed by a Deadite. All in search of a artifact that the Deadite want to destroy. That is the gist of the movie, without giving a lot more away. But it's a typical Evil Dead movie. That's the thing. It is a typical Evil Dead. So if you know Evil Dead, you know pretty much everyone's gonna die.
I mean, a little meaner and darker.
Yeah.
If you think about it though, so the good guys are the Deadites.
Why?
I mean, because that family sucked.
That's true. This is true. They
actually did everybody a favor. You know what?
They choose the most.
Fuck them putos.
They choose the most the mean people, because everyone in that family is a jerk. Even the brother, if you think is gonna be oh, he's gonna be a cool dude. No, he's also a wimp and a douche.
That's it. We're next
at the very end.
Just he's the fucking twat. He's the fucking twat.
Yeah. But
then
this movie, I will say, is very gory and vicious. All right, it is vicious.
Yeah.
The kills, the kills, and the action in it. That's another thing in it. Yeah, it feels a little bit more action heavy versus the original Evil Dead movies. And this is the same criticism I have with the Fetty Alvarez one. The original Evil Dead movies have humor built into them. There is like a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Right. It is horror, but there's a lot of comedy in it. In the newer installments of the Evil Dead movies, there isn't comedy, or it's taking more serious tones. It's not what I would refer to like as my quintessential Evil Dead. Like if I want to watch Evil Dead, I'll watch Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, Army of Darkness, even Ash versus the Evil Dead, the TV show. That all that captured the gore, the horror, and the humor. All of this is just missing humor. All the new ones are
Yeah,
missing
I think
humor.
it just has the name and the characters. There are a few tie-ins to the original franchise, but other than that, it's just a regular horror movie.
Yeah,
It feels like it feels like the directors just kind of wanted to stick to the horror element of it, because they're like, we're horror fans, but it's getting too silly for us. It's like, you know what? That's half the point.
yeah. The whole
Half the point is Raimi was funny. He had those awkward, like,
Especially in Spider-Man 3.
everybody had a one-liner. Yeah, I mean,
you mean Bruce Campbell, not Raimi?
no, but it's Raimi's. That's their stuff.
Yeah, but I think overall,
This guy was a different animal.
yeah. But I think overall, it's the movie. The movie as a movie, right? As an Evil Dead movie, it's better than Rise. I enjoyed. I had more fun with this movie more than I did so with Rise. Rise, and again, if you go back and watch our review of Rise, I said that it felt like a Resident Evil movie. You have this. The final monster is a mixture, like 3 Deadites coming together to make a super monster. It's
like The Substance.
That's just it didn't feel Evil Dead to me. This one, at least, I think they took a step back, and we're like, okay, let's not do that. Let's not do that Resident Evil monster thing, because they stayed away from it and they kept it. Hey, let's infect each one individually. And it was it is, some of the stuff is hard, like hardcore, right? I'm not gonna say this is the goriest, and it's the goriest of the whole series, because no, it's not. Right? It does feel Evil Dead-ish.
Yeah,
minus humor.
I think also the fact that there's a lot of practical stuff makes it a little bit more fun.
Yeah. 100%. I think when you use practical versus CGI, where at the end of this movie you still get a whole CGI final boss kind of thing,
Yeah.
Which looks horrible, but the rest of the movie you have some CGI sprinkled here and there, but for the most part it's just people in makeup, and it's their performance that
I think that's what
steeps
gives
out.
I think the fact that you actually put people in makeup is what gives it its personality when it comes to like a Deadite.
Mm-hmm.
Because a CG Deadite would not work, because it doesn't have the kind of human aspect of it. Which I don't know if that makes any sense saying that, but
this was directed by, I think it's a French director, right?
Oui.
It's a French director, so it felt like the cast
messy.
it felt like the cast was French, because the main girl, the final girl in the movie is like a French actress, and she does speak French in the movie.
Well, she did eat a croissant.
Yeah, it's nobody of note in this movie. I will say performance.
I enjoy that too, because when you see somebody that you know, kind of throws you off a little bit. Yeah,
and I will say where in the last Evil Dead Rise, everyone focused on the mom character, right, as the standout, which is I think it was Alyssa Sutherland, that her performance and her Deadite was the standout of the movie. I don't feel there was anyone as a standout in this movie, but they did something at the end of the movie that to me a lot of parts of this movie had me scratching my head. Like, I don't know what's happening here. This doesn't make sense. I didn't agree with the changing of a lot of the lore, especially in the post-credit scene where, and this goes into spoiler territory if you haven't seen Evil Dead Burn. They somehow bring the mom back from the last movie. They bring back Ellie, Alyssa Sutherland's character. They bring her back, even though at the end of the last movie, her in that giant monster form was thrown into a wood chipper and chopped up into small pieces. But somehow
it merged back together.
Merged back, and now she's back somehow. So apparently that whole lore where if you take the body out completely, they can't return. So now Deadites can return whenever they want, which doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me. I don't know. They're changing the lore, and I get it, evolve with the times, but do something better. A lot.
They're changing possession. Possession.
Yeah. The thing about it is like, watching this movie, I liked it, but I was like scratching my head. And again, this is a French director, right? Trying to do new things. Whereas the last director was Lee Cronin, who gave me another Evil Dead movie that's on HBO Max right now, The Mummy, which is that's just Evil Dead with a mummy. But yeah, it's just no. I mean, overall, I would say it's an enjoyable movie. But it made changes to Evil Dead that I was like not happy with.
Did it feel like it was an Evil Dead movie? I mean, if you changed the name of the movie, would it have been better?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it felt like an Evil Dead movie. Well, see, that's the thing. Like Evil Dead movies are possession movies, right? But it does feel like an Evil Dead movie. It is a dark Evil Dead. It's like a possession movie. The same thing. Like again, if you watch Lee Cronin's Mummy, which is on HBO Max right now, you'll see what I'm talking about. That movie is not a mummy movie. That is an Evil Dead movie. That they tried to make an Evil Dead movie using a mummy. This one felt like an Evil Dead movie, but again, my main issues is the changes that they made in the lore that completely changes a lot of how you perceive the Deadites.
Yeah. I mean, but that's why the movie is not being trashed that much, because it is a good movie. But if like you really know the lore and all that stuff, then it's really going to bother you. That's the only thing. So as a horror movie by itself, it's fine.
Fine.
And I will say, I think one of the things that added to the fact that I liked the movie was that I saw it in 4DX. And
you saw 4DX?
Yeah. So I did see it in 4DX, and
did you pay extra for that?
Yeah, and it, I felt like I came out of that movie with whiplash, and my back hurt, but it was completely worth it. I think watching this kind of horror movie, especially because a lot of the people in the movie get thrown around, and this movie revolves around a lot of physical, like Evil Dead just revolves around a lot of physical like acting, a lot of action, like a lot of getting thrown around, getting punched, getting beat up, a lot of blood, a lot of gore. 4DX really did capture, and I'll say especially the car accident scene at the very beginning of the movie. In 4DX, you're really thrown around. Like if you ever watch if you ever watch the Mr. Bean movie, when they go to like one of those motion simulating movies, there's a scene in the Mr. Bean movie where he goes into that and he turn it up a notch, and all of a sudden people are flying around, like getting thrown around in the seats. That's exactly what it felt like. It jolted you out of the seat, and it was effective. They really did utilize the 4DX properly with this movie. But
I wouldn't have thought that would be a good 4DX movie. I honestly just thinking about it, I'm like, would it have been? I didn't think
that's exactly.
I wouldn't have thought of watching 4DX.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, oh, okay, but it held me like it. I really enjoyed the whole aspect of the 4DX along with an Evil Dead movie. Yeah, but if you guys watch, like, my thing is, a lot of things are still there from Evil Dead, right? They still used a lot of the same things from the movie. There's a lot of through lines. It's just the biggest issue again was changing of the lore, where a Deadite can't just be killed. They can apparently come back whenever they want. That's my big problem. Like you're changing it, and then plus apparently they're gonna make another one, which is called Evil Dead Wrath, which is a prequel, right? And a prequel going back to when?
What?
I have no idea. A prequel to where they're going with it. But then there's going to be another sequel that's going to, because now Evil Dead Rise and Evil Dead Burn are connected together because of that actress.
I can't wait.
And yet, no Bruce Campbell.
No Bruce Campbell. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, in the last one, he did dead-eyed voices. So, well, I mean, we'll see. But if you guys saw Evil Dead Burn, let us know what you guys thought in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And on that note, this has been Vinny.
This is Ozzy.
Anna.
We'll see you guys next time.
Shop smart. Shop as smart.